afternoon, Mr. Terrinoni, Dr. Stevens, Dr. Asarian, department chairs, program directors, faculty, attendings, distinguished guests, family, friends, and loved ones, and my wife, Jennifer. It is a pleasure, and I'm grateful to be part of the TBHC Residents and Fellows graduating class of 2016, and I am honored to have been invited to speak today. When the official Commencement Committee deliberated extensively about whom to ask to give this 90-minute graduation speech, it was clear that they were looking for a speaker who was experienced, someone who was distinguishable and unique, and who might impart wisdom to the graduates through an inspirational anecdote or story. Well, Oprah was already booked, so you got me. However, it seems the criteria have been met. I am the oldest graduate, experienced. I'm the only GI fellow in my class, unique and lonely. And I'm inspired to share some thoughts, an anecdote, with all of you. Now, I distinctly remember giving a speech at my high school graduation before many of our graduates were even born. But back then, I compared high school to music composition. Now, I'm a musician at heart, and I described how a first year or freshman year starts slow, like a slow aria or song, and crescendos to the final senior year and etc. with a metaphor. So, as I reflected upon our experience through residency, fellowship, and training, I was thinking that it's really a lot like getting a colonoscopy. Right? No, I mean, think about it. Let me explain. There's the arduous preparation. Drinking 4 liters of colon cleansing liquid is akin to the 4 years of quenching that thirst for medical knowledge during med school. Now, sometimes the colon, and residency or fellowship training for that matter, is clean. It's clear. It's smooth. And you're advancing through those twists and turns of the inpatient wards, the ICU, ER rotations, the outpatient clinics, electives, until you find a huge, stinking pile of sheets of sign-outs from the night flow team that you have to sort out, make sense of, and follow up on. Now, some sign-outs were like excellent bowel preps. Neat, no residual junk, easy to navigate and detect the problems. But some sign-outs were poor, downright stinky, dirty, difficult to assess, and consequently, missing some things that might lead to harm. Now, some residency and fellowship days were stable, straightforward like a normal colonoscopy. But others were challenging, complicated, even tragic. But you got through those daunting days with courage, compassion, and commitment to providing the best care. My dear graduates, trust in your clinical training. TBHC has prepared you well. Apply what you've learned, and you will thrive and excel throughout the next steps of your journey. Now, over the past 3 years, I've had the opportunity, rather unique privilege, to journey along with you in parallel and witness this, our graduating class, strive, develop, and grow into better doctors than when we started. The late, great Dr. Stephen Covey once said, "Life is not accumulation. It is about contribution." And each of you has given your time towards serving the needs of patients. How much time? Well, out of the 168 hours there are in a week, you have spent nearly half, but per ACGME, no more than 80 hours, right, Dolores? Each week, working with one another and caring for patients. You've built friendships that will last a lifetime. And no doubt, you can consider TBHC as your extended family. You know, it's easy to remember the rough rotations, right? night float, ICU, the coverages, the codes, and all the calls. More importantly, and perhaps most significantly, you will, like me, never forget the moments that transform you. Gently holding a dying patient's hand, listening compassionately to a person in pain, just being present to alleviate suffering. At the end of a colonoscopy, there's a maneuver called retroflexion, where the scope is flexed back, and you can observe where the scope is coming from, looking back on itself. I encourage all of you to look back, reflect, be reminded of the tremendous impact of love, teaching, healing, and the positive imprint that you have had and are for each other, your teachers, and especially your patients. Thank you. Congratulations, class.